The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Nnpcl, said the restart of the 6,000 barrels per day Port Harcourt refinery marked a turning point in Nigeria's quest to attain energy security. The Chief Corporate Communications Officer of Nnpcl, Olufemi Sonoye, stated this on Monday in Abuja at the company's energy relations stakeholders engagement. Sonoye pointed out that under the leadership of the group CEO, Mele Elkari, the company has achieved groundbreaking milestones, redefining the trajectory of Nigeria's oil and gas sector. NNPC has also championed the adoption of compressed natural gas, although CNG, as an alternative energy source, offering Nigerians a cleaner and more cost-effective solutions amidst rising global energy costs, he said. According to him, the strategic decision to secure a $1 billion loan backed by NNPCL's crude was instrumental in supporting the Dangote refinery during liquidity challenges, paving the way for the establishment of Nigeria's first private refinery. I don't know if you are aware about the Port Harcourt refinery that was revived for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks actually. We have been talking about the situation here at the studio, and then there's been a back and forth situation that the refinery got revived, and then there was a slowdown on it, that they were trying to put things together. And people were actually saying that if you knew that, they were actually referring to Melakari, that or if you knew that you weren't ready to actually champion this Port Harcourt refinery, even the federal government, why did you start it? Why did you start it already? Why did you not do everything at the same time? Because there was a situation where they were saying that there were reports that the road that leads to the refinery was actually bad. And then they are saying that they fixed the refinery, and then it's going to oil marketers should come and buy, and it's going to reduce the price of crude and all of that. Now we're having a Port Harcourt refinery restart again, and then it's still going on, and then saying that Port Harcourt is going to produce or remove, or what's the word? I'm trying to get words to say, release 60,000 barrels per day to oil marketers. Do you think this situation will reduce the case of high crude rate, high oil rates, and the fact that there's the removal of subsidy actually affected a lot of things, even the economic situation of the country?
The problem, Chidima, with Nnpcl is that it is an organization that is shaded with secrecy, confusion, and the general problem of the failures of the Nigerian ruling class. As I say that for some reasons. One, up to today, even as a journalist, you can't really say for sure that it is working. And for those of us who are activists, we have argued that if it is working, the natural import of its beginning of production is that price will crash. But the Nnpcl, as we speak today, is selling even far and above a private refinery called the Dangote refinery. I am struggling to mention him because he equally has his own fair share, as far as I'm concerned, problems as far as the Nigerian economy and, of course, particularly the petroleum sector is concerned. But put another way, Nnpcl is not supposed to be a private company. But the private company somehow is not acting like the police over fellow or co-private company. In fact, it's more like it is still a state-owned company. The president decides who becomes the GMD of the Nnpcl. For practically everything. Okay, the way Amanet was privatized, what's Nigerians' role in it? Who are the people who bought it? You don't need to be an economist. Simple logic tells you that privatization means private control, right? So who are the private players? Who bought it? Where is the board? Where is the company? So a lot of secrecy, around what we call the Nnpcl as of today. And when people cast doubt about their activities, and news mediums publish or several stories about the irregularities, and like some persons claim that it has not resumed production. What did they do? They get artists, footballers, all manner of irrelevant persons to go and show. Meanwhile, we have we have engineers, we have a society for petroleum engineers. Why the only people they have not taken to that place to go and show that it's working is Marabout and pastors. Otherwise, they have practically carried all manner of persons, including journalists who are not even industry experts, just for the movie and just for the show. You take a journalist, you don't know if the journalist is an industry expert in this particular sector, you just carry him to there, you show camera. What does he know? What one would have expected that is that you get the society, the Nigerian Society of Engineers, specifically chemical petrochemical engineers, to come and tell us firsthand what is happening there. You didn't do that. Next thing you start carrying Marabout, you carry juju priests, you carry pastors, you carry movie actors, and all manner of persons. You go there, turn around, so what do they know? You didn't even get environmentalists and energy activists who have, even if it is not a first-hand engineering knowledge of it, but at least the workings, historical workings and activities around the industry. You didn't carry such persons. You just carry all. So a whole lot of this is what is the result of what you are getting. What is Nnpcl doing? What is Nnpcl? Is it a private company? Is it a government company? Is it a PPP? What they call private-public partnership? What is it? Maybe it is when we resolve that, we will not get to the next stage. If it is a private company or a public company or a partnership, what role is each party playing? Both the private side, the public side. Maybe it is that for us today. It is a failure. It is nothing different from the Nigerian Airways, where they just went somewhere, brought carton, spray it, and said that the Nigerian Airways have started flying. That's just the drama you see around there. And I challenge them. They know this for fact. It's just the drama for them.
Okay, Comrade Nnpcl, from the thoughts, the analysis you've given so far, from what you've said, you're saying in essence that this whole back and forth situation is not what we want. We want to know what is actually the way forward about this whole Port Harcourt refinery and other refineries that are in Nigeria. And what is Nnpcl doing about this crude processing and production? Isn't that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. They should, first of all, is that we want to know who they are.
Okay.
Because
okay, you want to know where they stand, if they are privately owned, government-owned, or the PPP.
And who is playing, well, let's know who they are, because that will help. Because, see here, if we don't know who they are...
So does that mean they don't have a stand? They're not actually in one particular place? They're not, the Nnpcl is not a privately owned company.
Really? Maybe you may need to go and check under the Buhari regime what happened when they told us clearly that they have privatized the Nnpcl. Maybe you need to go and do your research. Okay, maybe I'm not aware of that it's been changed to a privately owned company. As literate as we are.
Okay.
In any society, me and you should fall within the middle class. But yet we are confused as to what the Nnpcl. Then you can imagine the mass of people, uneducated people, ordinary people, hungry people on the streets. So the first thing for me is we want to know what is Nnpcl. That is one. So we are talking about first of all accountability as to status. Then the next thing is we only want to know what they are doing as of today. I haven't known who they are. So that because who they are will determine how we are going to engage them. Because the way you engage a private entity It's not the same way you engage a state entity. So by the time we know them first, the next thing is accountability. We now begin to say, okay, what are you doing? What are your roles? Because
so far they have not played any role as a limited company.
There is like Fela said, confusion yegba. There is confusion everywhere. And it's, you know, the oil and gas industry is an international industry. So we are just making ourselves a mockery of the whole world. It is not cassava, where very few countries trade in it, or it's staple food in many countries. Few countries rather. So that people that industry experts all over the world don't get interested. The oil and gas industry is not an African industry. It's not a West African industry. It's not just a Nigerian industry. It's an international industry. What that means is that it has international regulations like OPEC, and there are equally other vested interests in the industry. So what that means is that whatever you are doing is before the international community. And look at my view on this matter.
Okay.
And I am very, very sure this is the view of most literate persons. So we are now saying that why would you bring us to this level of ridicule? Who are you, Nnpcl? Are you a private company? Tell us. Who are you? Because before us here, the Buhari regime told us that they have privatized the Nnpcl. That is why it is even NNPC. It's just a corporation of the federal government with a lot of powers. It has regulatory powers, it has monitoring powers. You know, the NNPC has the powers to even monitor sublets like distributors, like marketers. So if maybe the price is regulated at a particular price, if you sell more than the regulated price, it is the duty of the NNPCL through the DPR to punish you.
Okay, so this Port Harcourt restart, the Port Harcourt refinery restart, do you think, like I asked initially, do you think that it is actually a turning point for the energy security in the country?
That is why if you get my response.
I just want you to put it there. I want you to put it there.
I get your point.
Well, yes.
See, the truth is that nothing has started before we start on about turning around. Nothing.
Okay.
Because if something has started, first of all, the first sign is that price will crash. Reasons being that nearness to business. If there is a raw material down the road, and this is an industry, naturally, because of the access to the raw materials, that's simple economic tool. The price will reduce. But if you get your raw material, say, from Gambia, the cost of moving to Gambia, getting people to get to Gambia, pay tax, pay freight, load, come back, will now make the price of that product increase. Now, if you now say that we have a turnaround maintenance, like they have told us over the years to steal our money, and now that production has started, simple economics should apply. We have crude oil just beside us here. There is a pipe that's supposed to connect from the point of production straight to our refinery. Don't forget. See why I said that there's a lot of secrecy and a lot of things that unexplained, like Fela said, balalala nonsense. So if it moves down to the refineries, if it is working like they claim,
okay,
and the next thing that is going to happen naturally is that you are going to produce at an extremely cheap cost, because you will not be traveling abroad
to import.
So the question now is, why is the Nnpcl through the Port Harcourt refinery selling more than even a private company like Dangote? Mind you, for Dangote to get product, he has to use truck to get his product. You don't need it. All you need is to provide security along the lines. It will just move straight from point of production straight to the refinery. That alone, the cost, the transport. If you go to Rumuji to get vegetable, at Rumuji, the price you buy it is far more different when you compare it to going to Rumokoro to buy.
True.
Why? The transportation cost of moving that vegetable from Rumuji to Rumokoro must have tripled the price of vegetable. That pumpkin, water leaf, any vegetable, any of the veggies.
Okay.
So that is the idea. So my straight answer to you is nothing have started, let alone for us to now say if it is a turning point. You have to start first before you start turning this in any point.